Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of Sunrise at Sunset, the show where it is not only appropriate to geek out, it's also strongly recommended. I'm your host, Skylar Clark Kent, and I'm sitting here with my co host for the second week in a row.
Jonathan Caleb Dowden. It's
Ooh,
fantastic to see you all
this,
today.
this is very fancy.
Oh,
I
yes.
like it. I like it. So, we got a lot of positive feedback on episode 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something I'm sure George Lucas wishes he could say. No,
We're all so mean.
I like the Phantom Menace. I like the prequels.
Well, I mean, like I will always like them. My dad, he not only took me out of school to see one,
Oh, it's
he acted
badass.
like I was sick to take me to see it in the middle of the day. The next time, he took me to the midnight premiere on a Tuesday, and I didn't have to go to school the next day.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was happy.
I guess I could do without all the Senate bullshit.
Well,
Yeah, I want to see, and already we're getting off track, but I just have to say this. Apparently, there's a cut of the prequels that Topher Grace from that 70s show did, and he just took all 3 movies and just cut around them and made them into one movie.
that's something I need to
And
get around to
he,
seeing.
he just did it for the hell of it.
That's pretty good.
And I don't know. I really hope that they release it someday. They probably won't. I don't know. George Lucas seems to be really chill about people letting him just use his stuff
Well, I mean,
just for the hell of it.
well, being that he gets all the rights to the products, like
Mhm.
every single cent you spend on a product, he gets a part of it. And
Mhm.
so the more the word spreads, the richer he gets.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't think he cares at all.
I would love to see
When you
that.
let Family Guy butcher it, like no one cares anymore.
But but Hayden Christensen does like one line read that no one likes, and it's just ruined forever. Anyways, okay. Now, before we jump into this, I want to preface this every week by saying I've picked up a grand total of 5 comic books in my life. So at any point during this podcast, if you wondered to yourself, why does it sound like this guy has no idea what he's talking about? It's probably because I have no idea what I'm talking about. I look at these things, these pillars of geekdom, if you will, and I just look at them and I judge them by how they affected me on a whole. If they entertain me, they did their job. It could be the worst adaptation in the world. I really don't care. And we sort of talked about this last time. You know quite a bit more than I do.
Well,
You're still far from knowing everything, but between the two of us, we can pretty much figure it out.
I learned that you see, I know a little bit about everything, just enough to sound like I'm smart.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask me to actually explain anything, I'm just gonna stare at you
Until we start talking about the villains, and then
Oh god, I love the villains so much.
People actually, I did hear some feedback though saying that actually made it more entertaining.
I mean, yeah, I love the villains. Like, yeah, everyone knows them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the fact that we didn't know exactly what we were talking about last time apparently made it really entertaining. But so yeah, let's get into the news. Let's geek out. I don't really want to bring this up all the time because this is supposed to be, entertaining. So I don't want to bring the mood down all the time. But I feel like these 2 people were very, very important to the geek culture. So I figured we really had to, honor them, pay our respects to them. The Route 29 Batman, if that doesn't sound familiar to anyone, a couple years ago, I believe it was 2012, there was a viral video that went online of Batman getting pulled over by the police. It was a 51-year-old guy, had a custom Lamborghini, was dressed as Batman. What the video didn't really show, though, is I'm getting misty-eyed here. I'm not going to be able to get through this. Is this guy would go in his custom Lambo dressed as Batman and go hang out at the children's hospitals.
Because he's awesome.
Because he's awesome. This guy was the Batman.
Yeah.
He is the Batman. That's so just making the world a little bit of a better place. He didn't have to do it. Just did it because he wanted to. But yeah, he died in a car accident a couple weeks ago, I believe. Excuse me. And if there is any silver lining to the story at all, it is that someone else picked up the mantle for him and kept his appointments.
See, that's great.
Which is awesome. That's what Batman's truly about. And keeping on the subject of Batman, and I'm not going into too much detail about this because, like a great journalist, I didn't really prepare much. But I'll put some links in the video so real journalists can really delve into it better than I could. But second of all is Yvonne Craig, who played Batgirl in the 1966 Batman TV series, passed away from cancer this last week. I I didn't ever really watch the 66 TV show.
I saw a few episodes. I saw a few, and they were campy as all get out.
Mhm.
But you wanted
It's
to keep
great.
watching them. You
Mhm.
really did.
I saw the movie when I was much younger, enjoyed it, and then I watched it again as an adult, like last year, and it's so good.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
so fucking funny.
it's. I mean, that's when it was made for kids. Like
Mhm.
it was a Saturday morning show, and you watched it with your family, and the kids were there.
Mm-hmm.
It was made for them.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, all the characters were just having a blast. Like, I saw one thing. It was like, I'll call the commercial, report the crime, and then baffle him with a riddle. And then one of his henchwomen looks at him and is like, why do that? And they just all give everyone there just gives her this, like, what look? Like, why? Do you know who you're with?
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's full of the small stuff like that made it a great show.
Mm-hmm. I unfortunately I saw a couple episodes of the series. I never saw anything with Batgirl. Apparently, it was always a very big deal when she would come on, though. Because I
Yeah.
think at the time I think she may have been the first, if not one of the first, female superheroes on screen. So that was a big deal.
Yeah, like everyone she came in towards the end. I think
Mhm.
it lasted longer than I assumed it would.
It was like 6 seasons, I
yeah,
think.
and she was there like towards the last 2 seasons, and everyone really liked her. Like she
Mhm.
was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to slightly happier news. We had the cast of the new Ghostbusters once again visiting children's hospitals in costume. It's definitely interesting.
Well, I mean, I want to see the new one.
Kind of some very, very sick irony if you delve into it.
Yeah.
Go visit dying kids as the Ghostbusters.
We'll see you in an hour. Oh god, we're so terrible.
Yeah, the kids were reported as saying after they left, "Who the fuck are the Ghostbusters?" But no, that was really nice of them. Yeah, I turned off all my electronics like a pro.
At least I turned my phone off this time.
Yeah.
So you don't hear ding every 5 seconds because my roommate's impossible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on. We have our first look at Michael Fassbender in Assassin's Creed, which I am so excited for.
Like if anyone wants to cosplay as any Assassin's Creed character, we have your inspiration.
Oh, it's
Because
good.
this
really
this
good.
outfit is fantastic.
And for some reason, my Wi-Fi is not working right now, and it's not wanting to pull it up. Well, until it does. He is going to be playing a new character. I can't tell you because I didn't write it down, but he is playing a new character, but it is set in the same world apparently as the video game.
Yeah.
So we may see Ezio, maybe not. Once again, I should have written this down so I could figure out the time period that it is set in, but it's set in Spain, if I remember right.
That's cool.
So I'm very intrigued. I love Michael Fassbender. He's a great actor. I think it's gonna be good.
Okay, so if you could choose to see a time period that they did an Assassin's Creed game in, what would you go for? I want to see like the Mongrels, like Chinese dynasty.
That'd be very intriguing. You know what? I would like to see like a mix. I would like to see kind of like how Black Flag did it. I think
Black Flag.
maybe.
Oh
No,
yeah,
or
that-
was
that
it part 3? There was one where where you played through the game as usual, and the last part of it was set in modern times, and it was parkouring through
Well, I mean, 'cause-
around the outside of the building, and that was real. I would love to see that.
yeah, I mean that's pretty cool stuff.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Everyone forgets that he goes through all of this. Like at the beginning, he went through all of it so he could train really, really fast to
Mhm.
do something.
Yeah, yeah,
And whenever you get to do that thing, and it's not just some stupid cinematic, you're like, yeah.
yeah. And also, spoilers, I guess, for the game. It doesn't really pay off because I think it was Assassin's Creed 3. You die, if I remember right.
well, like
they sort of set it up to where something big is happening after this, and then Black Flag came out, and it had no connection to it whatsoever.
yeah, it was.
I haven't played anything since then, so I don't know if they touch on that, but
Well, we've all had Unity, and I hadn't played Unity.
mhm.
I've only played like half of one Assassin's Creed game. I've seen quite a bit of it. I get the lore enough, but I haven't played a whole lot. I have it sitting at home saying "Play me" whenever I'm bored.
Definitely. Okay, so let's move on to some Marvel news.
Ooh.
We have some news about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is coolest title they could possibly have come up with.
I mean, yeah. So the people who are writing Guardians of the Galaxy specifically are fantastic people.
Mm-hmm.
They really know how to make everyone like. I went to that not expecting anything. I came out with my mind blown.
Oh yeah,
So I think they're gonna
crying within the first 5 minutes as opposed to the last 5 minutes, like Marvel likes to do.
So what's the news?
News about that is it starts filming in February.
Well, that'll be fun.
So
I mean,
we'll have hopefully maybe some set photos or some news here pretty soon in the next 6-7 months. They have said I did see an article that said the origins of Star-Lord's father, spoilers, are not going to be the same as they're on the comic. They mentioned the name, which I can't remember, but they mentioned that name and they said, yeah, that's not his father. So we get to figure out.
Well,
everyone gets to be surprised.
For when it comes to
and some people get to be really mad.
When it comes to comic book movies, I think The Walking Dead is sort of doing it right. The writers of The Walking Dead are like, we're not going to do everything exactly for a reason because we want it to be a surprise for everyone.
Of course.
So when people the makers of comic book movies are kind of going on the same clock, like, no, if we just do Infinity War, the panel by panel, it'll A, be really long, and B, be very.
I would love to see that though. I want to see a 6 hours long Avengers movie.
Oh, if you want to see a seriously panel by panel remake of a comic book, watch Sin City.
I thought you were gonna say Watchmen because that's apparently what I've.
Oh well,
that's the criticism I've actually heard from Watchmen was that it was too close, except for the end. Apparently, I haven't read Watchmen, so.
Oh well, in like when it comes to Watchmen, it did end completely differently, but with the same sort of effect.
Yeah.
But you want a sense of surprise, and so that's what they're like. Well, what if Ultron wasn't made by Hank Pym? What if it was made by Thor, Bruce Banner, and Tony Stark all mixed together? Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's go with that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, what if Gwen Stacy? Spoilers again. I spoiled this for my girlfriend. Actually, I feel terrible. She was listening to the last podcast, and she was like, "Gwen Stacy dies." I was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry."
Okay, so
like, I liked what they did there. I mean, it didn't have to be Norman Osborn that did it. It was still a Goblin, if you want to be technical.
Well,
it was
we'll
the
just
Goblin.
Call it Green Goblin did it.
Yeah.
I was at a con, and I was as Kingpin, and so every time I saw a Spider-Man, I just look at him and say, "Hey, how's the ex-girlfriend?"
You just pick him up
dead?
and just
just break his
throw him.
I
break his back, Bane style. Spoilers.
I kept making dead Gwen Stacy jokes to see if I could make them cry. I made one like hang his head in defeat, and another one there's a guy there, and he's like, "You're gonna need to apply some ointment for that burn." And so I was really happy about it, insulting these people who've worked so hard for these costumes.
See, now if I had been there in that costume, I would have cried. I've seen them. I saw the movie 5 times in theaters, and I broke down every single time. I cry every single time. It's a good movie.
You treated that like I did the Lego movie.
I don't understand the hatred of that movie at all.
It's a good movie. I don't. How can you not like it?
It feels like a comic book to me. Even the way it maybe the pacing could have been a little bit better. It could have been a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like they could have spread some stuff out a little bit more. But it kind of felt like a comic book to me in that sense. It was very.
Well,
it was streamlined.
They did something that made Spider-Man really feel like Spider-Man at one point, and it was the smallest thing. He was putting a fire was happening, and then like water spurts out, and it goes over and it shows Spider-Man with a fire helmet, and it's like, yes, that's the Spider-Man everyone loves.
Okay, yeah, we somehow ended up on Spider-Man from Guardians. Anyways, moving on to that's a good segue. That's a really good segue.
Yeah.
We got some Civil War news. I didn't even write this down. I just remembered this off the top of my head. This could be considered spoilers. I guess. There was apparently news that Spider-Man in Civil War has a fight scene with Captain America.
That will be awesome.
Just saying that, I kind of wanted to cry.
Yeah.
That made me so happy just saying that.
Oh, because in the comics, Spider-Man actually came out as being Peter Parker,
Mm-hmm.
and he was on Tony's side, and so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm very interested. But we do have our sides. I may have to. It actually loaded.
Huzzah!
We have our official sides for Civil War, for the film. On Cap's team, we've got Hawkeye, Falcon, Winter Soldier, no surprise there.
Yeah.
Ant-Man, Sharon Carter, which I guess is a descendant of Peggy Carter, maybe daughter, granddaughter.
I'm thinking granddaughter.
Yeah, probably. And Iron Man's side, we have War Machine, Vision, Black Panther, and a surprise here, Black Widow.
Black Widow.
So her and Hawkeye are going to be at odds.
You see, I was always for Captain America the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
like in Civil War. I was always for Cap Am. So, and I really like Vision. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this.
It's gonna be interesting. There's some promo art. I'll throw links down in the information so you can check out the promo art. It's really really cool. But this gives us our look at Hawkeye's suit for Civil War.
Oh yeah,
It
it looks
It looks
awesome.
great. It looks really great.
Yeah.
It's almost, I think as close as you could get to comic accurate without being completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's suit is one that would not translate well. It would look terrible.
Nor would the Panther, like just purple latex and that's it. Like,
Mhm.
nope, we need something more than a purple morph suit. So.
It's like Michael Keaton in the RoboCop remake. Let's streamline it. Let's go with black. I really like that too. I think more people liked the new RoboCop than they let on.
The new RoboCop was a lot more interesting, and it played with like certain philosophical ideas. Like if he doesn't know, he's not making decisions, stuff like that. So, it was really interesting.
I would have liked to see it rated R though. Lots and lots of blood.
Yeah, a lot of like 13-year-olds are really happy.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, moving on to some DC news. There's this interesting rumor going around, and I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think the idea is necessarily so dumb as much as I don't like it in this universe. There's a rumor going around that Jared Leto's Joker is going to be Jason Todd. It's going to turn out that the Joker tortured him so bad that he went insane and took on the role of the Joker.
Well, there's precedent for that.
Mm-hmm.
And in Return of the Joker, a Batman Beyond thing, what was it? Joker had like somehow given Jason Todd his DNA, and Jason Todd went on to be like an engineer and just something way out of the superhero universe, and he became the Joker, and that was cool. But I want to see the Joker.
Yeah,
but they may not want to do it simply because you can't redo what Heath Ledger did.
Definitely, I can see that. But if you look up online, I'll link to the article. There's someone put as proof, quote unquote, that if you look at the Robin suit that is hanging up in Bruce Wayne's, I'm assuming that's probably the Batcave that he's looking at it in. Which can we just talk about? Oh my god. Jason Todd has been in this universe, or a form of Robin. We don't know exactly that it is Jason Todd, but
we're assuming it's Jason
Todd.
Form
of Robin has been beat to death by the Joker, and Batman is tormented by that, and he keeps it in his Batcave as a sign of his failure.
Yeah,
that is so cool. They're taking this so seriously. I love it. But there's apparently a couple of marks on the shoulder that people say match marks that are on the first picture that was released of Jared Leto was the Joker, where they showed all the tattoos that pissed everyone off.
Yeah.
There's apparently marks in the same spot that people are saying are scars. That apparently, I don't know. I don't necessarily mind the idea. I just, A, I'm not sure how I feel about it in this universe, and then B, I wouldn't want them to do something like that this early. If they're gonna do something like that, wait 5 or 6 movies, and then drop a bombshell.
Just to tell you about
maybe they are doing that, and we just figured it out early. I hope that's not the case, but
maybe there's a when it comes to that kind of detail, I saw something interesting. I think it was a Tumblr post, but it showed a Cap-Am's shield. Like I think they're just in the middle of an Ultron battle or something, but you saw 6 distinct marks on it. And you're like, where do these come from? Because they didn't really flow with the rest of the scarring on it. And it said, well, Peggy Carter shot the shield 6 times. It was like, that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, what if she's just that much of an awesome person that,
right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I can't be that person. I'm just like, ooh, pretty colors. Ooh, funny one-liner. That's cool.
Language, guys.
Yeah, language.
he never left that
here pretty soon. October, I think, if I remember right.
It's on Showbox right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I need to see it again. I only saw it at the midnight premiere. I never ended up going. I lied. I saw it twice.
Oh.
I saw it twice. I need to see Ant-Man again. People like Ant-Man a lot more than I did. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked it. I had a lot of fun with it, but people are like going off about it's the best one they've made so far. It was their absolute favorite. And obviously, it's all subject to opinion. But
well, I mean,
I liked it, but it wasn't the first Avengers.
Everyone likes their shiny new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I personally, I liked the first Avengers a lot. Probably my favorite is Guardians of the Galaxy, just because. Oh my god, yes,
I have to agree.
Like I hadn't seen Ant-Man because I'm poor and don't go to movies like I should. But that doesn't mean I don't really want to see it.
Oh, and interesting. This leads me into what could be a plug. You know, we don't. This is only episode 2, so we wouldn't have sponsorship anyways. If we were gonna get sponsorship, though, I would love for it to be from MoviePass. I have this thing. It's essentially it's like a little credit card.
Okay.
It's like Netflix. It's a monthly fee. It's a $30 a month fee, and you can see one movie essentially for free every single day if you use that card.
Awesome.
I mean, around here, in Texas, it's not as good of a deal because movie tickets here are $8. But when I was living in LA, you see 2 movies a month, you've already paid for the card.
Yeah,
it's really, really good in the summer movie months. But if we're ever lucky enough to get sponsorship someday, I'd like that.
That'd be interesting.
But moving on to more DC news. We talked last time a little bit about just sort of in passing about Mad Max. And how awesome that was because of George Miller. There's a rumor going around at this point that he's been approached for Man of Steel 2.
If it's gonna be a thing.
If it's gonna be a thing, yeah, because that's the other part of the story, is that in the exact same story, it's like George Miller possibly directing Man of Steel 2, but Man of Steel 2 might be on permanent hold, which really bums me out because I would love to see more of that. I'd love to see more of that universe. Well, especially if George Miller was involved.
You had to remember, okay, Superman by himself, not terribly exciting. Fantastic, morally amazing. Like, when it's hard to make just a Superman story.
Yeah, like you're kind of stuck to just really Doomsday and other Kryptonians.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems
you
like,
have
or
Lex Luthor,
well, I guess Brainiac is more kind of Justice League material.
Well, no, good. I'd like to see Brainiac. I think Brainiac is one of Superman's best villains because he's just he wants to like preserve things. It's like, well, I also want to kill everything around it. And you're So he has this really weird morality. It's like, what if the Vision just went insane and said, "I'm gonna kill everyone"?
Yeah,
but he'd have a very sound logic to it. So I want to see that because you can't completely kill Brainiac ever.
Yeah, definitely. Did you know at one point George Miller was going to direct a Justice League movie?
That I would have wanted to see.
Late 90s, early 2000s, if I believe. It was casted. There was concept art. The cast actually flew out to Australia to shoot it, and they just ended up getting the plug pulled. And I can't remember all the cast off the top of my head. What's his name? Lone Ranger. Army, I think. Army Hammer was supposed to be Batman.
Oh, that would have been cool. He did an okay Lone Ranger. No one liked the movie, but
yeah, I actually haven't seen it.
No.
Yet, but,
well, I want to point out, I'm glad they didn't because the fruit's a lot more ripe for the picking right now.
Oh, definitely. But something I would have been very interested to see is Booster Gold. They had Jay Baruchel.
Really?
Yeah. Which is kind of interesting. Most I know about Booster Gold is from Smallville, but from what I saw in that would have been really, really funny.
Yeah,
I would have liked to see that. Adam Brody was the Flash. That was the other one.
Oh, that's cool.
That's some really good casting, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Last bit of news. Last bit of DC news. This one's moving fast. The last episode was almost an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
this one's moving pretty fast. I haven't timed it, so I don't know where we are. Last bit, I mentioned last time that there was the rumor that the Doomsday was going to be in the movie, and we're seeing something that may be possibly confirming that. Michael Shannon, in an interview, Michael Shannon played Zod last time, if you don't know, but he let slip in an interview something about how he couldn't get out of the bathroom one day because he had some flippers on his hands, and the director was looking for him, and they couldn't find him because he was stuck. I don't necessarily think. I think flippers probably wasn't the word he meant to use. It's probably the only thing he could think of at the time. What I think that probably means is just some sort of green screen suit.
Yeah.
Essentially, because I mean, motion capture could probably only work for so long on Doomsday because he is so different.
Yeah.
Looking, he's got all sorts of weird spikes and shit coming off him, from what I remember. So I'm assuming that's probably what those were for.
Doomsday, wait. Oh yeah, okay. I was thinking Darkseid. My bad. Yeah. Doomsday's got a lot of weird stuff going on with his body. His anatomy is all sorts of messed up.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of I actually did. I think I called it last time. I may throw the clip in there. I think what would be absolutely astounding may piss people off. I'm not sure, but I sort of came to the idea of what if they were able to like reanimate Zod's body. So it was Michael Shannon playing Doomsday and playing Zod. They're reanimating Zod's corpse. It's not necessarily going to be Zod, but I think they're going to use his corpse to.
The way they made the first Doomsday was they use a bit of Superman,
Mm-hmm.
and so if they're going to use like Zod, they're not going to reanimate Zod. No, that's way too easy. They're going to clone him and like make him look.
Well, yeah, there we go.
That, or they're pulling a what was it? American Horror Story and just reusing all the actors because that's cheaper and more fun.
Yeah. I watched I've been watching the Batman v Superman trailer a lot lately.
Yeah,
like just on repeat. Oh my god,
it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. And really, I said it last time, and I'm gonna say it again. The thing I'm most excited for is to see Jesse Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor. He looks like he's going to nail it.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna do it so well. I want to see the full concept of the monologue. It looks like something's going down. His whole
that would be
maybe not in first movie, but
I mean he could easily become president.
Maybe by like, that would be an interesting thing to delve into for Justice League.
Yeah, because when they make the Justice League movie, I feel like it's either going to be Brainiac, Doomsday, not Doomsday, Darkseid, or Lex Luthor. And I want it to be Lex Luthor because he's the smart one. Mm-hmm. He's the one you can't just kill. You can't, you just can't throw rocks at this problem. You have to like outthink your way.
Yeah. Okay, we got a little bit of time left, so I just wanted to shout out a friend of mine. You may know him, Zach Morris. He designed a new logo for this, because if you saw on YouTube, which you probably did, because I can't figure out how to get this on iTunes or any podcasting websites yet, but there's a little logo of a sun, and I'll delve into more of the backstory of that at some other point. But I asked Zach, because he does graphic design, and I asked him if there was something he could do to kind of take that little character and make him kind of appropriate for a geek podcast. And so you may notice the new logo on YouTube. I haven't shown you this, but he threw that together.
Oh, that's adorable.
That's great, right?
Yeah,
that's great. He needs a name. I don't know. Sammy Sunrise is nowhere to be found. I don't know. I haven't seen him since this guy showed up.
This is well, I can't think of anything silly enough. I was like, Helios, God of the Sun. No, that's not. We're not nearly as grand as that.
Nah. We'll figure it out. Put down in the comments if you have any ideas. But I think that's all the news that we can talk about. I like to say the last part. Once again, I know you plugged the your Tumblr last time. If you want to go ahead and do it again,
like, just for I roleplay as Hugo Strange because I'm a nerd, and it's a strange professor at Tumblr, and
awesome. It's
so much fun. Like, I love role playing because it gives me a creative outlet.
Oh yeah. And then I'll link that down in the description, as well as my Twitter at Cloudy Sky Gray. And if you're watching this, you've probably already found my actual YouTube channel, so I'm not even going to bother really plugging that. But I think that's it for the Geek News this week. Right. Episode 2, I'd like to say, was a smashing success.
Yeah,
a lot shorter than episode 1. I'll try and find a good middle ground. This one felt really short. I don't know if it was, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know when we started, but I mean, we could do 30 to 45 minutes would be.
Yeah, and we're gonna come up with some other fun stuff. We were gonna have a third and have a little trivia square off, but stuff kind of fell through with that. But well, and also we didn't have a main topic this time either.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that took up a lot of time last time. It was, and we'll save it for next time, which is comic book movies that are not nearly as bad as they seem, or as people say they are. And we had a list of about 10.
Yeah.
Cut that down to 4, just for the sake of not having the podcast be too long. And I realized about halfway through Green Lantern that I only had 2 days to watch 4 more movies, and I have, I have to go to work. So we'll save that for next time.
Oh, can I tell them my idea about what we could do a podcast?
Oh yeah, go for it.
All right, so I thought it's akin to something I've seen them do on League of Super Critics. It's you take a franchise like Wizard of Oz or anything like that, and you just take each version and you just chat about it, what you want to see, what you were happy they did, any ideas, what you
Mhm.
hated, and just for the Wizard of Oz, there's a million different.
Oh yeah,
that Snow White.
there's an anime version of
Really?
Wizard of Oz. Yeah, it was made in the 80s. It's interesting. It's really good.
That does be interesting. But so something like that, and like I thought that'd be really cool to break down. And I'm reading a book now called like what was it? Dorothy Must Die, which is about Dorothy becoming this horrible dictator ruler of Oz.
Ooh,
Another girl from Kansas coming to like take her down. I'm like,
that's
yeah,
badass. That is badass.
it's so cool. So like,
Can we
stuff
get
like
George
that.
Miller directing that?
Yeah, that's right. It's a good book too. It is. I mean, I blew through it. It's so awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that's it for episode 2, Smashing Success. Until next time, I'm your host, Skylar Clark Kent.
And I am Jonathan Caleb Dowden.
Geek out, everybody.